Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Sana Alam, computer lecturer from Superior College. Today I'm going to teach you the topic functions which we have already covered in the college. We are going to revise few very basic concepts of functions, right? So I will start first with the definition of function. What are functions? So I will simply say functions are group of statements that perform some task together. Group of statements that perform some task together, right? So this is the basic definition of function in computer science. Why now? The next thing after the definition, the question is why we are using functions. Why? The answer of why is with the use of functions. The following are the benefits. The following are the benefits or advantages that we get in our programming, right? From programming point of view, now you all know about the instructions, about the variables, data types and all that, right? And you know how to write a very simple program in C++ language. So with the use of function, what are the benefits that we get with the use of functions? Number one, we get modularity. Modularity is the very basic and most popular concept in your computer programming, right? Consider this, that this is your whole system, and this system consists of different parts, subparts. After joining these subparts, these parts are connected together and make the whole complete system. So instead of checking the whole system altogether, or instead of creating the whole system altogether, what if we create one module and then finally join them together to make the whole system? So these boxes are representing your modules. And this module is a function which we are creating or which we are using in our program, because as I said, function are group of statements which perform some task together. So each function is has some one specific task which that function is performing, right? So different modules have different functions, and different functions all together make one complete system. So modularity is the first benefit that we get with using the functions. Second, we easier to creation of your program, creation of your system is easier when you are using functions. Third, editing. Editing is also easier. Changing something, if you want to make any changes in a function in some specific code, so instead of going through the whole system, it's better to use that specific function, make the changes, test it and then reset it. So this is more easier to make changes in your program, and functions also allow good and easier error checking. One by one, we can check each module, we can check the functionality, inputs and outputs of that module, and ultimately we come to the result that the system is working in its perfect state. So this was the basic concept, what the function is and why are we using functions, right? The next thing is types of functions in C++. What are the two types of functions which we can use in C++? Number one is built-in or system defined functions, right? Built-in functions or system defined functions are those functions which are already available in the programming language. We are not there to create that function, we are only there to use that function already present in language to use them, right? Second, we have the second type is your user defined function. As the name suggests, user defined means the user will be there to define or create that function. This function is not already existing in the computer language. If we need that function, we will create it. If any function, our desired function is not available in the language, so we will create that function. So those functions are called your user defined functions. User defined functions created created on user demand or user need, right? So these are the two basic types. Example of built-in function which we are already using it is your main function, without which we cannot create any program and without which we cannot execute our program, right? Now the next thing which I'm going to revise is your signature of a function. How a function is being created and what are the main parts or elements of a function. So signature of a function composed of three things. Number one is the return type. Number two is your function name. And third is, you can say, arguments or parameters. Return type defines what value the function will give you back. When you are using that function, so what value the function will return you back. This defines the return type. Function name can be any variable, any word which you like. You can take that as the function name according to that functionality. Arguments are the values which we pass when we call that function. So those are known as arguments or parameters. Number of arguments can vary. If you need to pass one value, you can change the number of parameters according to your own requirement, right? So very simple example of function signature. Example of function signature. Suppose I need to create a function that should calculate the addition of two numbers and should return me the result of that addition. I need to calculate the sum of two integer values and I want the function to return me the result. So if the numbers are integers, the return value will also be the integer, right? So this is the return type. I will write in it. I have taken sum as the function name, and how many arguments I am passing to the function? I am passing two integer numbers. This is your function signature. with a semicolon at the end. Clear? So this is your return type. This defines your function name, and these are your parameters or arguments. And this whole statement is your function prototype. Function prototype defines when you have created that function. So this statement, in this statement, I have only created the function. I have not used that function. I have created it for the first time. Okay, this is the basics about the function. Now I just want to give you an assignment. So please note down this assignment. You have to create a function that should calculate greatest common divisor. Find greatest common divisor of two numbers using function. Function should take numbers as arguments and return GCD. Fine, students, so this is your task, this is your little assignment for according to the topic. You have to solve it and send me the file on WhatsApp. Wait for the next lecture. Thank you.